Hey guys, what's up? Adrian Almeida here, and today we're going to be looking at how to prep throwbacks. All right, cool. So first and foremost, we got to do a little bit of file prep before we do anything else. Okay, so step one is you want to make sure that you have both of your photos in on the computer or on your phone or wherever you have them. Okay. So we need to actually name some of these files, okay? So first thing we want to do is you're supposed to have a baby picture of somebody, and then you're supposed to have a current day picture of somebody, okay? So let's go and start with the baby picture, okay? So we're going to type in the person's first and last name, and then the baby picture is going to be labeled 03. Okay, we're going to go to the modern day picture of that person. Same thing. We're going to name this file first and last name. And this one's going to be labeled 04. Okay, so baby picture is first and last name 03. And current day picture is 04. Okay, with first and last name. All right. Now, let's go ahead and jump into our throwbacks folder on Google Drive. Okay, so now the reason you want to do this is, go ahead and go into our onboarding folder. Go ahead and go to videos and tutorial links, and then go ahead and click on our throwbacks folder. It'll take you into this folder. Okay, and this is a collection of all the throwbacks that we've had. Okay, so we got to make sure that we're putting all the throwbacks in here properly. Okay, so let me show you the reason why we name this the way we name it. Okay, so if I go over to Jordan's links over here, okay, so Jordan 03 has already been uploaded, right, a few years back, and then 04. Okay, so what you can do with the files that you collected, that you renamed, you're just going to throw them in here. Okay, it's very simple. You're going to grab these and then just drag them into Google Drive over here, or upload them directly from your phone, and then you can also rename after you've uploaded them. Okay, but you have to make sure you're naming this stuff properly, okay, so that it shows up on here. Okay, make sure the spaces are where they're supposed to be, right? Make sure everything looks good in terms of the way you've named the file. Now, once you have this, okay, let's go ahead and actually prep the files. Okay, so step one is we're going to jump into Photopea, or you can do this in Photoshop as well. Okay, so we're going to go up to File and then New. We're going to go over to Screen and click Full 1920 by 1080p. Okay, and then this we could name it Jordan Drew 01. Okay, so 01 is the baby picture. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and click create, and then we have just a blank screen on. Okay, so I'm gonna grab the baby picture, right, which is 03, and then let's go ahead and drag that into Photopea. Okay, and then I'll just slide it over here. Okay, you'll notice that my picture is underneath, so I'm just gonna grab it on the layer list. I'm just gonna drag it up so it appears on here. Okay, now one thing we want to do with this one is this one has a little bit of white on the sides. Okay, so if I go ahead and click over here, and let's go ahead and let me hit G one more time. Okay, so I'm gonna just paint my background, oh, it's an ugly. Let's just go black for right now. Actually, let's go pink. So anyways, so you can see that there's a little bit of white on the sides here. Okay, so we actually need to get rid of that. Okay, so we can, I'm gonna go ahead and click on Jordan over here. Okay, what I'm gonna do is I'm going to select let's go ahead and just crop this picture out just a tad. Okay, so the way we can do that, okay, so we want to go ahead and crop out the white, okay, because we do not want the white to show up. All right, so what we do is I'm going to go ahead and select my selection tool over here. Okay, the square is perfectly fine. I'm going to create a square. Okay, so I'm going to drag from the top left all the way to the bottom right, making sure I'm only covering just the picture. Okay, none of the white. I'm not going like this, right? It's just perfectly inside of the picture and grabbing as much of the picture as I can. Okay, from here, I'm selected on this image here, and I'm gonna go down to the bottom, and I'm gonna just click this mask button. Okay, so if I click that, boom, what it does is it just keeps that portion that we selected on the inside. Okay, perfect. Now, if you need to scale this up and down, okay, you can do so with shift and grabbing one of these corners. Okay, so you want to make sure it's a good, nice, healthy size in the frame. Okay, you can move this around until it slaps right in the middle. Okay, perfect. All right, now once we have this, okay, I'm gonna go ahead and drag. We can get rid of this background since we don't necessarily need it. Okay, I'm gonna grab this photo here. I'm gonna drag it down to the new icon down here. Okay, the new layer icon. What that does is it just duplicates this layer. Okay, you can also go in here, right click and duplicate layer. Okay, that'll do kind of the same thing. So, all right, so now we have the top layer, which is this one, and then we have the bottom layer, which is this one. All right, so now I'm gonna grab this bottom layer over here. Okay, I'm gonna go up to edit, transform, and then scale. Okay, and then you've already seen this before, right? I'm gonna lock down my my ratio, and then I'm just gonna scale that bottom one like that. Okay, I might just move it down a little bit, right, like you've learned. Okay, and then let's, oops. So we'll move it down. Make sure you don't have any space on there. Perfect. So I'm gonna go ahead and lock that in. Then we're gonna go over to filter, blur, Gaussian blur, and then we're gonna go ahead and just blur that back piece a little bit. Okay, and then don't blur too much where it gets kind of, well, I guess you could. And then if you have any issues with the edges, this is okay. Let me see if you see there's a little bit of a lighter edge here, but it's fine, not a big deal. Like this looks pretty good. Okay, so now this is prepped for, this is 16:9, the aspect ratio that we need for the show. Okay, so what you're gonna do is you're gonna hit File, Save as PSD, and then this is our first picture in the series. So I'm gonna go ahead and click on, so I'm gonna name this Jordan Drew 01, okay, because this is the one that we actually need. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and put it. Just make sure you put it right in the right folder. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and put mine in here. Okay, and then I'm just gonna save it. Okay, perfect. All right, now we have the second photo that we have to prep. Okay, so this is 01. Okay, now I'm gonna hit File, New, and now we're gonna prep Jordan Drew 02. Okay, 02 is the same thing. We go to Screen, we go to Full HD. It's already set up for us. Okay, and now the only difference between this one and the other one is that you're gonna have two of the images side by side. So I'm gonna grab 03 and I'm gonna grab 04 and then drag them both over here. Okay, so same thing with 01 and then 02. Okay, and I'm gonna just put them side by side. Okay, now we want to go ahead and mask both of these. Okay, so I'm gonna click on 03 for a second. Okay, I'm gonna do my mask like you learned the last time. So I'm just gonna draw a little mask. Doesn't have to be perfect. Okay, and then you make sure you're on the right layer. Okay, this is Jordan 03. Then I'm gonna mask it. Okay, perfect. Same thing with this one. Okay, I'm gonna draw a line over here, and then I'm going to click on 04 because this is the one that we're masking, right? And then I'm gonna click mask, and then perfect. Okay, so now if this we drop in the background, it is perfectly, these two images have no white on them anymore. Okay, all right. Now, I'm going to scale this one up just a tad, right? So it makes a little bit more sense. And then I'm just going to line them up, I mean, as best I can, right? Usually I look at the edges over here. So this edge over here, and then the edge over here from this side, right? You want to make sure they kind of match as much as you can anyway. So I'll just kind of move this over a little bit, and that looks pretty good. Okay, now, so on this one, what we can do is we can grab either one of these. Okay, you can grab this one or you can grab that one. Doesn't really matter. Let's go ahead and grab the second one this time. So I'm gonna right click and duplicate that layer. I'm gonna drag it to the bottom. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and get rid of this background since we don't need it. So now I have a duplicate of Jordan 4 on the bottom, and this is the one that we're going to scale. Okay, so I'm gonna go up to transform. I'm gonna go to scale. I'm gonna lock in my aspect ratio, and then I'm just gonna scale that up, and then I can grab it and move it over. Okay, so it looks like I have to scale it a little bit more. So let's go ahead and scale. Perfect. Okay, beautiful. So I'm gonna lock that in, and then last step, of course, is your Gaussian blur. Okay, so blur and Gaussian blur. Okay, remember you're blurring this last layer underneath. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and just blur that as much as I can. So it kind of shows up, and perfect. Okay, so now we have baby Jordan on the left, big Jordan on the right. Okay, and then that's it. Super simple. Okay, so this one's gonna be the second image that we show. So I'm gonna save this as a PSD. Of course, this is gonna be Jordan 02. Okay, And then I'm gonna go ahead and hit save. Okay, so that pops in here nicely. Okay, so now when I go back to my computer, okay, you'll notice that I have 01 Jordan, which is perfectly prepped. And then I have 02 Jordan, which is perfectly prepped. So our editors will know that 01 is going to be at the beginning of the show. So they run 01, okay? And then 02 is going to be the end of the show when we reveal the throwback, okay? Perfect. All right. And that's pretty much it, guys. So you want to make sure you grab these two files, 01 and 2, and you want to make sure you throw them back into the throwbacks folder. So every person that you prep needs to have these 4 files, okay? 01, 02, 03, and 04. Okay. And then from there, just let the editor know that those files are in here, ready to go, and then they can grab them as soon as they need them for the full show. All right. Very nice. Nice job, guys. And let me know if you have any questions on this.